Hi, this is Mrs. Hathaway, your math teacher for Accelerate. So I wanted to help you get started on your Pre-Algebra B course. So you can see up here, this is the Pre-Algebra B course. Some of my students will have different initials after here, but this applies to all of you that are taking Pre-Algebra B and 8th grade math as well. It's the same. So I wanted to show you how you get started in this course and how you complete your first assignment, which is down here, working with percents. So that's the first teacher graded assignment. You have other quizzes. But I get emails all the time. I'm totally confused. I don't know how to do this. So first thing that you have to do, it's absolutely mandatory, is that you have to start going through the first lesson, which is right here, fractions, decimals, and percents. So you click on the lesson, and remember that these are independent study, self-paced courses. So you're not sitting in a classroom with a teacher making you take notes and listen to a lecture. So you really have to have a lot of grit to do this on your own, to take the notes and to put in the work and the practice that is necessary to be successful. So that is my first biggest tip and mandatory component for these courses, that you have to put in the work. So start here with the first one. Yours should look just the same. It's called fractions, decimals, and percents. You may feel like this is too much of a review. Some of you may be really good in math, some of you may be struggling, but still I want you all to go through this. So you go right here and you click on this, and this is your first lesson, okay?
We have 5 different examples.
Here's the teacher teaching the lesson. She's wonderful at math. She knows what she's talking about. Please listen to her recordings. Go through the examples. So that's her talking. So I'm going to fast forward the video a little bit so you can see that she's walking you through the basics of fractions, decimals, and percents. What I want you to do is write down every single example that she does. And I want you to keep a math notebook specifically for this course, okay? When you're done with that math notebook, you can, when you're done with each lesson of taking notes, you can send a picture. Just take a picture with your cell phone or your computer camera, and you can add it to your assignment, and I will give you anywhere between 2 to 5 points of extra credit for each assignment if you took notes. Okay, so that's extra credit opportunity right there, is taking notes and sending me a picture along with your assignment of your notes that you took. So again, going through fractions, decimals, percents. So I want you to go through each one of these. So you watched the video, you took notes, maybe you still didn't understand it. That's okay. That's how we learn. So go through each example. The question, 43 out of 100 students, what percent of the students are male? Try your best guess and then click on the answer. Okay? So I want you to go through all of these slides. So you click the next one. You may not remember how to do percents to decimals or decimals to percents, or maybe you never learned it the first time. That's okay, because all the information is right here. It says divide percent by 100, you move the decimal point 2 places to the left, okay? So that multiply decimal by 100, move it 2 places to the right to create a percent. So this is how you do a decimal, this is how you do a percent. And then write this down in your notes so that you remember how you create a decimal and how you create a percent. And then write down these 2 examples. What is 0.45 as a percent? 45%. What is 2% as a decimal? 0.02. So give it your best shot. Remember to go through this, read through everything. I'm not going to walk you through everything because it's right here in your course. So, I'm going to put cancel. Oh, it's trying to get me to make notes. So there it is again. Fraction to decimal percent, fraction decimal to percent. It's like, how do you convert these back and forth? So press play and take notes. Take notes with everything that she does. Write them down. You may think that that's too much work or it's a lot of work. It is a lot of work because math, getting good at math requires a lot of work. In 8th grade and pre-algebra, those are really kind of the hard grades of math because you're still learning the basic concepts, but you're also being thrown into algebra and more difficult concepts. So you're going to have to put at least an hour a day into this course, okay, for completing one assignment. You should be putting minimum 1 hour into this course, just like you would in a brick and mortar school. You would be sitting through an hour of lecture and going through examples, and then you would also have homework. So minimum 1 hour a day you should be putting into this, if not more. Okay? So then you go through, they have more ways to practice. What is 2/5 as a percent? Try your best guess, and then go through and you can type, so what is 43% as a fraction? So I'm going to type 43/100, and I'm going to put it in there, and then keep going, keep going, keep going, and then see, it gives you the answers. So that's your way of practicing. Okay, that's how you're going to practice what you've learned. If you still don't get it, you start back from slide 1, you go through the videos again, you work through the examples again. I promise, even if you feel like you're not good at math, this will work because we're leading you through it step by step, okay? So then you go to the next part, which is you take the quiz, and you can use your notes. I'm totally fine with that. So you look at your notes, you take your quiz. And if you'll look, I'm just going to show you the quiz. Of course, I have the teacher version. But look, the quiz is exactly the material that they just went over in that lesson. Okay, so it's converting a percent to a decimal. Remember, I showed you that exact slide where that is. That's why it's important to go through those examples. Okay, so now we're going to move on to the next thing, which is percents and proportions. And this is where I want you to really start paying attention, because this right here is part of this assignment, working with percents assignment. So you're going to get a lot of the information in order to complete this first assignment, which I know is a little difficult, from this lesson. So it's so important that you're taking notes. So you should be taking notes on this section as well. Okay? So now it's telling you percent, proportion. Proportion. There is that word. Let me just pull it up real quick. On that first assignment, let's take a look at it right now. Working with percents, it says answer each of the following questions using first the percent proportion. So let me circle that. Okay, percent proportion. So that's why we need to pay attention to this lesson, because this whole column here, we're going to do the percent proportion, which is in the lesson that we're going to watch right now. Okay, so it's telling you, and we need this magical thing right here, part over the whole equals percent over 100. This is the formula that we need in order to complete that worksheet that I just showed you. So you should write this down right now in your notebook. Part over whole equals percent over 100. So in the proportion 3/4 equals 75 over 100, what is the part, the whole, and the percent? So right now we're just going to identify the part, the whole, and the percent. So you should be thinking about that. Try to answer on your own. Even write it down in your notebook and then click on the answer. And then it's going to tell you the part is the 3. That's the part of the whole. So I have a pizza. I sliced it into 4 slices. So the whole pizza is the 4. The part that I ate, I only ate 3 slices. So that's my part. And what is the percent? 75%. You say, well, how do I know that's the percent? Well, this is where you can use a calculator. You can get out a calculator and you can punch in 3 divided by 4. And that will give you 75%. Okay? So then you click the next slide, and it's just reinforcing that percent, that whole, that part. Remember, math is practice, practice, practice. So you should be going through, it says find the percent of the following. 32% of the 900 women were retired. 150 is 25% of what number? So it just says find the percent. That means literally just pick the percent out, because again, we're trying to get you to understand this formula, part over whole equals percent over 100, because this formula is going to help you do the worksheet. So right now we're just identifying the pieces to that formula, okay? So it just says pick out the percent. So where's the percent right here? It tells you 32%, right? Where's the percent here? 25, right? 225 students going to Field trip, what percent? So try to do this on your own, then click the answer, and again, it's just asking for the percent. So it's just trying to get you to identify those parts of that equation. And now it's going to try to get you to identify the whole. 32% of the 900 women were retired. So the same examples, but this time instead of asking the percent, it's asking you the whole. So what is the whole of that one? So click on the answer after you've tried it. 32% of the 900, so 900 is the whole. So really don't just quickly go through this, really try and read through these. This is why I'm telling you that you should be spending really an hour and a half in these courses each day. And then the part, again, we're trying to get you 54% of how many students is 378. What's the part? The percent is 54, the whole is unknown. The remaining number, the part, is 378. So again, it's just trying to get you to identify those pieces so that you can understand how to use that equation. Take your notes. You should have all of these examples written down in your notebook with the answers, and you should try to answer them first on your own. Then you click on the answer. Okay? That's what I mean by taking notes. Then she's going to walk you through the formula, and look at that. Part over whole equals percent over 100. She's literally going to walk you through how to do this side of that first worksheet, working with percents. So you should be watching this video and you should be literally writing down every single example that she walks you through. So first thing in your notebook, you should have this formula. Part over whole equals percent over 100. And then you click play. And let's listen to her walk you through it.
A very handy proportion to use when you are solving percent problems. Remember, you could be solving for the part, the whole, or the percent.
So I'm going to fast forward it just a little bit. She's going to identify each of those pieces again. So here's the question. 12 is 25% of what value? I'm going to pause it though real quick so we can look again at your worksheet. Look at that. It's very similar to these questions on here. So that's why I want you to watch this video very carefully and take exact notes on every single example that she presents you. Okay?
So 12 is 25% of what value? 12 is going to be the part.
See, she's identifying them.
20.
I'm going to fast forward it, and then she's plugging it into the equation, and then she's showing you how to solve. Okay? So go through this entire video. You should be writing down everything, absolutely everything from this video. Okay? And then click one more slide, and now it's your turn to practice. So you're going to do these examples just like she did in the video, just like she did. You're going to identify the parts, you're going to set up your proportion, cross, multiply, and solve. So try and do them on your own first, and then check. And then check. Okay? So try to do them on your own first and then check and you'll get the answers. Now, next is your quiz for that same thing. So again, the quiz, they've covered everything in this. And then we're going to get to the next lesson, which is solving percent problems. So now this one is a little bit different than the proportion. This one is part equals percent times whole. And again, take notes. Go through every single slide. Go through every single example. You can see that these are examples. These are things to do, exercises to help you with it. More exercises to help you with it. And more problems for you to do. And let me show you what I'm talking about. That lesson is this side. That's the percent equation, which is different than the percent proportion. And speaking of, you need to show all of your work on these two. I cannot give you credit if you're just showing the answer, because you can get the answer just by, not doing them correctly and not showing me your work. The whole point of this exercise is for me to see your proportion set up correctly and your equation. Okay? So you're going to go through all the examples again because she's walking you through how to do the other type now. And again, answer these questions, hit the next so that you can get more examples. And then finally, you're going to do the working with the percent worksheet. Okay? So there it is, and again, we're going to do the proportion all down this column first, and then we're going to do the other way, which is the equations over here. I'm going to show you how to do that, a few examples in the next video. Even though she already showed you how to do it, I'm going to go over this exact worksheet. Thank you for watching. Take all those